Hey, welcome back to LesbiGreen. I'm excited to see you. I'm Kira if you're new here. If you've watched any of my previous videos, I'm kind of just feeling my way out and seeing what I want to talk about. Today I wanted to talk about my places that I volunteer for. And I love volunteering. I haven't been able to as much in the past, so I kind of went a little overboard. I volunteer for Job's Daughters. I am a past honored queen. So I was asked by our current honored queen if I could be on the council and help them out. We have very few members right now and we're trying to get back up. And so with less members means less adults helping. And if you don't know what Job's Daughters is, it's an organization for young women between the ages of 10 and 20. And they learn leadership skills, how to run a meeting. They have a blast getting together, having, we call them friendships, but they're big parties that we invite other people throughout the state. It's an international organization. So the US, Canada, Brazil, Philippines, many more places, Australia that I just can't think off the top of my head. But it is so much fun, and being in the organization was so much fun, and now seeing the girls and seeing the joy that they're having that I used to have is really fun. So I am the secretary, and that means I just keep track of the books. We don't have a recorder, and a recorder's job is to just learn how to take notes for the meetings and read our mail, our correspondence, and just that sort of thing. So without one of them, it's me. So I go and I read all of our mail and take notes of our meetings and help the girls with any help they need, but it's led by the girls. So all of the girls lead the meetings, and it is so fun to watch them bloom and blossom. We have every term, just 6 months, our girls get to pick what they want for their charity of choice. And this year it is, or this term, is Epilepsy Foundation. So I'm pretty excited to see what she's going to do to help with the Epilepsy Foundation. Internationally, we have the HIKE program. It's the Hearing Impaired Kids Endowment Fund, and it helps to raise money for people who cannot afford hearing aids. So that's been close to my heart. I learned sign language in high school and a little bit in college. I'm rusty because I don't have a lot of people to talk to, but just knowing that I can communicate with the deaf community, it's a big deal to me, and I love it. So that's my first volunteer project. If you saw the video about Tilly, Tilly is our little blind cat. I should grab her so you can show you again. She is so stinking cute. She came from Rough Start Rescue. Here's a little Tilly. Tilly has no eyes, and the tips of her ears are gone. There's more about that in her little video, meeting our babies. She loves exploring the basement, so she's probably going to leave me and go find all the fun places to go. Got it? There you go. She is adopted through Rough Start Rescue, and we had adopted a dog. She had heartworm. She was a boxer from Texas, and the sweetest thing in the world. Do not be afraid to adopt a dog with heartworm, especially if it comes from a rescue. A lot of times the rescue will help pay for all of that sort of thing. And we just had to foster her until she was through her heartworm treatments. And oh, best dog in the world. She immediately went to my wife and gave her a huge hug, and we could not say no to her. So in order to foster her, we had to go through a fostering program, learn how to foster, how to make sure she was double harnessed or double leashed, things like that, just for animals that do not do well. A lot of times rescues don't have a background where you know if they're skittish or have other issues. So just learning how to do all of that sort of thing. So while we were fostering and adopted her, she was very quiet due to her heartworm. You need to keep their heart rate low until all the worms have disintegrated, I guess, and gone through the system till she was healthy again. And in doing so, we had a emergency cat that was found out in the snow, and she was pretty beat up. The pictures, I don't know if I can even show them. They were pretty bad. Tilly had no hair on any of her face. She had one eye damaged, one eye. I keep looking over at her. I hope that's not distracting. She had one eye full of trash and garbage, and the tip of one ear was sliced. The tip of the other ear was frostbitten hard, and the tip of her tail, about this much, was hard and frostbit. She also had some frostbite on her toes. And she was just this tiny little ball of fur. And she was at the vet, and we had our rescue group reach out and say, can anyone take her for the weekend? There was a blizzard here. We live in Minnesota, so it gets very cold and snowy. And she needed a place to go for the weekend until her foster family could come and get her from the Minneapolis area. And so I could not say no. She was maybe a mile away from my work, so I had to go get her. And unfortunately, I didn't really give my wife a choice, and as soon as she saw the cat, it broke her heart, and she lived in the bathroom for a little while. We have a good-sized bathroom, and so she was kind of quarantining in there, and we loved her so much that I called the foster and said, we're going to keep her. You don't need to foster her. She is ours now, and we are fostering to adopt until she's healthy. So in volunteering for Rough Start Rescue, I have not really fostered. I have just kept everything, and I am not really upset about that. My wife might be, but she doesn't complain. All of our babies are our children, so she loves them all. And especially cats. She's a big cat girl, and I love dogs. And so not having a dog right now is a little rough for me. No pun intended. And so that's been a fun ride. I do like to travel down to the office and bring donations for Christmas, holidays. We donated after our 1 year gotcha anniversary of Tilly, we donated a whole bunch of litter boxes and litter and stuff like that for her. So yeah, that's the second place I have volunteered and donated to. And the third place that I volunteer for is the Shrine Hospital Auxiliary. So the Shrine Hospital is another Masonic organization. My grandfather was a Shriner, and I grew up going to the circus. If you haven't been to the Shrine Circus, it is so fun, so magical, especially for children. If you have kids or you're just a big kid like me, definitely go to the Shrine Circus. It is by far the most magical, fun experience you will have. The other part is where the money goes to. If you've ever seen the guys with the fezzes, those guys are the Shriners. They've got the fez, they are in the go-karts at all the parades. They get their name out because the money that they raise all go to the Shriners Hospital. There are multiple Shriners hospitals throughout the US, I know for sure Mexico, and I'm pretty sure other countries. I just don't know off the top of my head. And their mission is to help burn victims and anyone needing skeletal, I can't think of the word, but children missing limbs, cleft palate, limbs that have not grown correctly, spina bifida, anything like that. They are there to help, and their hospitals are first class. Hi Tilly, you come back. So they are first class hospitals. They do not charge a penny for children until the age of 18. So insurance covers just like normal, and then after that, the Shriners cover 100%. And that is for the lifetime. If you have a child with a prosthetic leg, arm, back brace, things like that. As children grow, and they grow very fast, those things need to be replaced just as quickly. So to be able to have no fear of letting your child grow and change into things that help them is just the most amazing experience. Since the Minneapolis hospital, Shriners Hospital, is in snowy Minnesota, one thing that I love to do is to knit hats. And when children are brought to Minnesota for surgeries or anything like that, sometimes they don't realize how cold it gets, and so they don't have things like hats and mittens. And I love knitting hats, especially for the teenagers. Who doesn't love a cuddly little baby? And they get so spoiled. Getting a hat for a teenager in a cool color that's, they can go home and wear it, it's popular. When they've had to travel to go to a hospital for probably a surgery or procedure that's not comfortable, it just means the world to them to have something that is theirs and keeps them warm and actually cool, and not some grandma made this with her leprechaun green yarn that hi baby girl, that is also scratchy because it's the cheapest yarn grandma could find. So that is another one of my passions. I think that's about it for where I volunteer for. I do have a couple other places that we donate to. We love the Trevor Project, and we donate to Wacosa. In our area, we have a place called Wacosa, and it is special needs adults who get jobs, and they have a job coach, and that job coach helps them in their job to be able to be independent, have a job that fits them and that they fit the job. And we donate a lot of clothing and supplies for their secondhand store. They have some of their special needs adults that run and work at this secondhand store. You could. And so that's a big part in my life as well. The store I work at a Plato's Closet, and we donate a lot of our items that either don't sell for us or that are donated by customers to Wacosa's thrift store. So really, that is about it. Tilly is digging in my bags. It is only January, and my assistant manager is amazing, and I'm going to be collecting things throughout the year for an advent calendar for her. And I don't know if she's ever going to be interested in watching me, but if she does, I'm not going to show you what I got her. It is so incredibly fun. And now Tilly is super excited to smell what's in all the bags, because obviously she can't look in them. So I hope that that kind of inspires you to go and volunteer somewhere. Give your time, if not your time, things that are not useful to you anymore, to donate them to somebody that could use them. Maybe in your job, find a boss or a supervisor that may be interested in hiring someone with special needs to be a big part of your corporation, or to just donate some money if you are in a spot where you are able to do that. I have recorded some fun video of every week that I go to. It's twice a month, so first and third Sunday is when we have our meetings for Job's Daughters, and every time I go, I always stop at Corpy Coffee. It's a locally owned coffee place in our area, and I love going local whenever I can. So I have a fun video of that, and then also a video of walking up the 5 billion stairs to get up to our meeting room. Our meeting room is gorgeous, by the way. We are North Star Lodge, so we have a beautiful mural on the ceiling, and it's all the night sky with clouds and stars, and I will put some pictures up on Instagram. If you don't follow our Instagram, it's going to be down below. Make sure that you check that out. Our Furry Rainbow, if you want to see more of Tilly and her funny little antics, and the other two, Dave and Rocco, are on there. And hope to see you next time. Bye.